Alright, we're down to another training session. And this was my first heavy session of this training cycle, so I was pretty excited about it. The goal is to build to a heavy clean and jerk. So before that, I got into some front rack mobility, and this is a trick you can try when you are doing your clean and jerk sessions as well. I don't have a bad front rack mobility. I can pretty much full grip the bar and do a front squat with it without letting my finger just go. But still a good idea to open up your front rack. So this is a bench prayer stretch. So I would just hold a PVC pipe, get my elbows on top of the bench, get my head through in between my elbows, and I would just try and sink in. That's a really good movement to open up through the lats in your thoracic spine. I'll do a few reps of those. And then using that PVC pipe, I'm gonna get into shoulder, kind of an external rotation of the shoulders. It's just getting my front rack mobility unlocked. With this one, I'll do a few reps just moving from the bottom to the top, just to loosen things up. And once I do a few of those, I'm gonna start twisting that to the front. So that's more similar to what a front rack position with the barbell will look like, with my hands pretty much behind and the elbows in front of me. So I'll try and open up that position as well, and I'll do a few reps. At the last one, I'm gonna let that PVC pipe go and try and hold that position with my hands for as long as possible. So you see my hands are coming back, and what that does is kind of, instead of just stretching through the lats, it gives you active range of motion as well. So not only are you flexible and mobile in that position, but you're also on that position and you're strong in that position as well. So that's my other side, just did the same thing. After that, moving to the barbell, still no shoes, just wearing my socks and doing a few good mornings into squats, or Kang squats if you will. I do a few reps of those, probably 5, just going very slow on those good mornings, squatting down, hanging around at the bottom, getting comfortable with that. And because I'm doing clean and jerks, I didn't show that in the video, I think I didn't film that, but in my warm-ups I also use the crossover symmetry just to do a few shoulder activation exercises as well, just to get primed to get the barbell over my head. So I did a few of those squats, then put the barbell on top of my knees, and then just moved around to work on a bit of ankle mobility. Just moving side to side, taking the heels off the floor is fine. It's just trying to feel a bit of pressure on the top of my ankles there. That's quite helpful, just to open up the bottom of the squat. And then I went into some strict presses to get the shoulder to overhead movement primed as well. And then I just mocked around with some close grip overhead squats. And that's a pretty challenging one. It's a really good movement to open up the thoracic spine. You can see on that last rep I just fell to my butt, and that was quite funny. From that, just moved into my clean and jerk primer, so getting more specific now towards my clean and jerk. Actually, not yet, still doing some muscle cleans just to get the last bit of the shrug done, a few elbow punch throughs with the barbell as well. And now I'm probably gonna start doing some footwork, so some high hang power clean. Now moving to the hang position next, just going from the top down. I like this top down approach with cleans and snatches, just working from the highest position, the last position you have before you get under the bar, into the lowest one, which is the floor. So I did a few from the high hang, a few from the hang, and now a few push presses, just cueing my legs to work, to drive for that split jerk afterwards. Now I'm doing some split jerks. Really try to reinforce that hitting my back foot first on the floor before the front foot, which is something I've been working on, and I can do that up into some point. Once the barbell gets heavier, I kind of get into auto mode and my front foot doesn't move as much as it should. It's something I've been working on, and I think I've been doing quite a lot of improvement. Pretty much every session I'll go and do, I can do that with a heavier weight. Like, used to be 90 kilos was my limit, and it was something that once I hit that 90 kilo mark, I would get back into old habits above that weight. Now I'm up into 100 kilos, so I can hold those good positions up into 100 kilos before things starts to go south. Now I'm got 40 kilos on the bar. I'm doing this clean and jerk prime up. That's one high hang clean, one hang clean, one push press, one split jerk. 60 kilos up on the bar now. Actually, it's one pause power clean, so pausing just at the knees, and one low hang clean, one push press, and one split jerk. And I like these complexes to warm up for the movement itself, because it's something that I'm still doing full clean and I'm still doing a split jerk. I'm just putting some other movements in between to get my body primed to do everything it needs to do when I get to the heavier weights. So I got 70 kilos on the bar now. And although it was the first session I was going heavy after a bit of a break I had, it felt pretty good. The cleans were feeling really good. The jerks also, some days with the jerks I'll have, like I'll know from an empty barbell that I'm having a good day, and some days I know that the day is not gonna be as good of a training session. I think it's a matter of trying to have more good days than bad days and just keep working through them. Now, I got 90 kilos on the bar. That was my first set of just one clean, one jerk. So you can see my footwork still looking pretty decent. In my receiving position on the jerk, I'm getting pretty balanced, so the weight's balanced between my front and my back leg. Got 100 kilos now on the bar, still really solid, really balanced. Jumping to 110 kilos now. I'm gonna go for another clean. And another jerk. That's where things started to not go as well. You can see a bit wobbly on the catch of the split jerk. Now I'm gonna start jumping 5 by 5 kilos now, 115 on the bar. Now, though the editing makes it look quite fast, I'm taking about 2 to 3 minutes in between those heavier sets. So 115, you can see I probably went up too wide on my split. That's why that front foot stepped inwards as I was recovering from it. 120 on the bar now. That's the first set I wore a belt. So I have a weightlifting belt on now for that 120. Then I decided to go for this 125, which was my top set for the day. So solid clean, struggle a little bit to stood up. And then the jerk, you can see how I don't move my front foot as much as it was moving before. And that's done for clean and jerks. It took me about 20 minutes to get to that. And then I moved into some back squats. And this is something you can also try with your training. I got this one from Craig Ritchie, which is a big idol of mine. I love watching his videos since I pretty much started training CrossFit and weightlifting. Trying to do my squat training on flat shoes and doing them as raw as possible. By as raw as possible, I mean I'm trying not to wear knee sleeves, I'm trying not to wear a lifting belt, and I'm trying to wear flat shoes or barefoot shoes for my squats. I'm doing that for both front squats and back squats. So the workout for today on my back squats was 3 sets of 7, and I was meant to have, this is a good auto regulation tool. It's called reps in reserve. So you should feel that I should have felt that I had 3 to 4 reps in reserve, meaning if I wanted to, I could go for another 3 to 4 reps after I finish the set. So that's 120 on the bar now. That was my second set. I did, I think, one set at 110 or 115. That was my first one. Then 120 for my second set. And then my third set, so 3 sets of 7. That was at 120 again. Again, not wearing lifting shoes, so not elevating my heels, not wearing any kind of knee sleeves, not wearing a lifting belt, just trying to get my body to get as strong as possible and learn how to do those things without the tools, try not to rely on those tools, so that when I actually add them on, it will make a huge difference for my training. That was it. That was the back squats, and that was the session for today. Hope you guys enjoyed, and see you in the next one.